great to be back in this position, Declan, where you want to be at the start of the year.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, it's fantastic, and I suppose to have our family and friends back at the matches as well adds to it. It's brilliant, it's exciting, it's yeah, as you said, it's where you want to be, and we're looking forward to it and knuckling down now for the next 10 days and getting ready for it.
How much of a different experience is it now that friends, family and different people are going to be there? Because it must have been a bit weird last year.
Yeah, it was. Like, I remember doing a Zoom call with a lot of you last year before the All-Ireland final, sitting in my sitting room, and half been afraid to go outside in case unfortunately you might pick up the virus and miss the match and things like that. But yeah, totally different. Even the last day going in the train and the bus, to have supporters there roaring at you, and some Waterford supporters roaring at you as well. It was great. It's fantastic to have them back.
You mentioned about COVID there. As captain, I presume, do you have to not hammer lads, but you have to keep lads on their toes about just making sure that everyone's doing what they should be doing?
You don't have to hammer them at all. The boys are brilliant. Like, they know the consequences, what they are. Like, if you're out and about and mingling, like, you can easily be a close contact and miss an All-Ireland final. Like, I mean, that's not why we train to miss games like this. So no, they're very, very, very good and very disciplined in that sense.
Declan, the enormity of what's been going on for the last couple of years, as much as you try to detach yourselves from it, I mean, you're captaining Limerick into yet another All-Ireland final. Does it ever hit home in the quiet moments?
Yeah, it does, of course. Like, I mean, it's great to look back in the last number of years, and the enjoyment it's brought to so many people, I suppose, is one standout moment from the last number of years in the games that we've been so lucky to be involved in, I suppose. But again, as a player, you're constantly looking to the next training session or the next match, and that's what we're doing now since the game against Waterford at the weekend, just making sure the bodies are okay and getting to Sunday week in the best possible shape we can.
How surreal was lifting the McGrath Cup last December?
It was strange. I mean, there was a bit of roaring and ball in there from a few of the boys, and then it was just silence. Like, but sure, look, if you get to lift Lee McCarthy, no matter what the circumstances, it's a good day. So, look, that was the way it was last year. It was disappointing not to have supporters there, but look, we're back there again, and we can try and do it for the second year in a row.
Does that make it that bit sweeter that you're back there again so quickly?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's why we train, and that's why the 36 players put in such a massive effort every time they take to the training pitch, and it's to get to days like this. It doesn't just happen, overnight or anything like that. There's a lot of hard work goes into it. But again, very enjoyable. We love coming training and meeting all the lads and having a bit of crack as well.
This year would have started out on Zoom again, would it? Or?
Yeah, it would. I think when there was talk of going back, we were in Zoom calls, and training on our own. Similar to last year, I suppose, for a lot of it. But lads were given programs to tipped away at that themselves and came back in fine shape. When we were given the green light to go back training together, which is great. It's fine training on your own, but it's definitely not the same when you've the likes of Kyle and them roaring and balling at you and hitting you and things like that. But it's great. We're happy enough to be back and where we are.
Declan, with the preparations for the warm up for the Waterford game, would that have been the same as normal, even though you were there slightly later than usual?
No, it would have been the same as normal, yeah. We try and stick to the routine as much as we can, regardless of what happens around. Some things happen that you can't obviously control. We've been involved in a couple of games where there was delays and things like that with extra time in minor matches before, and sure, it's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it, and sure, all we did was kind of relax. And if you're in Croke Park for an extra half an hour, how bad? We enjoyed it.
Darragh Donovan said it was unfair to both players on both sides. Would you agree with that?
Look, I don't know if it was unfair. Like, I mean, the health and safety of the supporters and people travelling is, very, very, very important. And if you're paying €50 to go to a match, you want to, I suppose, be able to see it all. But look, as I said, these things happen, and there's nothing players can do about it. It's just a position we were put in.
The Cork game, I know it's just 7 weeks ago, but that was a game that could have gone either way. There was a penalty save, there was a huge moment in it, and now you're meeting Cork, and it seems to me to be a completely different Cork in terms of confidence in them. Yeah,
sure, they've taken serious momentum after the past number of games that they've played, and like the weekend against Kilkenny, they were fantastic. Like, I mean, there's not that many teams that have played Kilkenny in All-Ireland semi-finals and come out on the right side. We tried in 2019 and failed, so it was an unbelievable performance by them. But they've been really, really strong and competitive over the last number of years. We've found it quite difficult against Cork, and they're a fabulous team. Pace, skill, heart, work rate, they have it all. So we're going to be seriously up against it, and we're going to have to be at our absolute best to come out on the right side.
Given the season last year, winning on Ireland in December, when you came back for the league, was it a conscious decision that you wouldn't train maybe as hard as you would maybe at that time of year, obviously, but with training have got more and more intense as the months roll by during the league even?
I found training quite hard when we came back now, and I thought we were putting in a fair effort. It was just, look, we didn't get a couple of results at the start of the league, didn't go our way. I know we drew against Tip and then lost to Waterford and Galway, but like there was never a conscious thing that we were saying we're holding it back here or anything. We always go out on the pitch and train as hard as we can. I definitely found it tough anyway, but we slowly got there. Like all the teams, you know, you're not going to come back flying fit or anything like that. But yeah, week on week we were growing, you know, and our confidence was coming back and things like that. So look, we've improved in the past number of weeks.